Hello and welcome to Millwall Fan TV. This is your post-match analysis for the game last night against Fulham, which we lost 4-0. Start off by the lineup. I thought the back four was obviously the same decision as Saturday's game against Sheffield Wednesday. I thought that was absolutely fine. Didn't think there was anything wrong with the lineup in that sort of positions. My problems were with the midfield and the strikers. So firstly we played a 4-4-1-1. I think against a team like Fulham, you can't sit back. You have to go and attack, and you've got to go and score a goal. You can't sit back and defend, because as soon as we did that, we looked vulnerable, because their front line was Cavaleiro, Mitrovic and Knockout, all three Premier League players really. And against these sort of players, you can't sit back and you can't defend like we did. 4-4-1-1, Thompson in behind Bradshaw it was, and Bradshaw wasn't getting anything. We couldn't get out. So 100% we should have started with a 4-4-2, and I think we should have dropped Williams, put Smith up top, and possibly dropped Leonard and put Molumby in the middle, because I will get to Molumby later. Actually, we won't talk about that now. We'll talk about Molumby later. I thought the goals, the first goal, Cavaleiro cut inside and he put a good strike past Bartos Barkowski, but it all started when Romeo didn't stick with his man. Let him come inside. Don't let Cavaleiro come inside. We saw against Huddersfield on Friday night that if he comes inside, he'll punish you, and he did. He scored 2 goals last night, and he punished us. We just weren't good enough in them sort of positions. I thought that the second goal was Knockout. That was from ball in. No one marked him. How tall's Knockout? 5'8", something like that. No one marked him. It's just simple. We've got Cooper, we've got Pearce, 2 big centre backs, and just didn't pick up Knockout. Maybe that was Murray's fault. I'll have to reflect on them. But I thought Murray had quite a good game actually, but we'll get to that later as well. The third goal was a penalty. We actually started the half really, really well. I thought Smith should have scored. He scores, that's 2-1, different game. Really good decision to bring Smith on. We should have started with him though. 45 minutes too late, because we already 2-0 behind, and that's tough to come back from that against Fulham. But I thought Smith played well when he came on. We just looked to be like a different team until they obviously had a penalty. Mitrovic went down. I've watched it, don't think it was a penalty. I thought he dived again. That's the constant thing with Mitrovic. He keeps diving, keeps getting penalties, keeps getting free kicks. He's got to be punished. I thought in the first half he elbowed Cooper in the face. That's a red card, not a yellow. He keeps getting away with it. He'll keep doing it if he keeps getting away with it. So the penalty I didn't think was a penalty, but they split us apart really. And the fourth goal was a Cavaleiro. I went past the keeper and scored. Just didn't stay with him. We just did not put our tackles in. But the third goal was, I thought, Ferguson came off for Scalak. And Ferguson was on the wrong side. He's on the right. He's a left footer. He had to keep. He's a left footer, so he should be on the left. Mahoney can play with both feet, so he should have been on the right, and Ferguson should have been on the left, which I didn't really understand, to be honest. But Ferguson kept getting the ball, cutting inside. But it was obvious what he was going to do. The defenders had him worked out, and so he lost out. So I thought that was another silly mistake. Ferguson should have been on the left, not the right. And in the end, they did swap, but it was 4-0 by then, so a bit pointless. Bradshaw did have a goal disallowed. I haven't watched that one back, but my first thoughts of it was it did look offside. They both look offside, actually, Smith and Bradshaw, which obviously means they probably were offside. I think Fulham did look good. Their midfielders looked very strong. I thought Kearney and that Johansson. I thought Alta was less influential, but Kearney and Johansson looked really strong. But we just didn't pick up our men. We let them come at us too much. And when you're 1-0 down in 15 minutes, it's going to be tough to come back against a team like Fulham. You've got to take chances when you do, and defend and don't let them score. We knew that Mitrovic, Kearney and Cavaleiro and Knockout were all going to be problems for us, and we just didn't pick them up. They were the ones who scored the goals. It's just basic defending, really. The goals were, obviously, apart from the penalty, because I didn't think it was a penalty, had maybe the fourth goal, nice move. The first and second should never have conceded. They completely dominated us. If you look at their final stats, they had 84.5% of possession. That's ridiculous, really. If 4-0 meant they probably should have beaten us by more, to be honest. And I just thought we had an awful performance. Do I think we'll bounce back against Borough on Saturday? I think it's a one-off. You know, I think it's a one-off. You know, Fulham are going to do that very often to teams at their place. They are going to do that. I think they can do it often. I think against Borough, I think Alex Pearce, Neil Harris Alex Pearce will hopefully bring the players up, and I think we will win against Borough, and that will test our bounce back and test our mentality. See if we can win that game. If we do win that game, then I think yesterday's obviously not forgotten, but it puts us in a better position than we are now at the moment. It was 4-0. Obviously, we're still ninth, but you can't really look at the table now. Only good thing is we've kind of distanced ourselves from the bottom three. We're 6 points clear of them. So we can win on Saturday, and maybe against Hull we'll be possibly 10, because bear in mind Huddersfield might win a few games. We need to distance ourselves from the relegation zone as quickly as possible. So then, if we do lose games, it's not so much of a big deal, because I think Luton and Wigan and Stoke could be in trouble this year. Huddersfield will be alright. They'll get a new manager. They'll be fine. But Luton, Wigan and Stoke could be in trouble if Stoke carry on the way they have. And that Butland, what a keeper he normally is. That was terrible. 2 terrible mistakes last night. So it could be worse. We could be Bolton or Berry going on in administration. I think what we've got to remember is, if someone said to us at the start of the season 7 out of 12 points, I would have taken that any day. 1-0, one loss against Fulham. I know it's 4-0. If it was 1-0, I wouldn't be so bothered. But 4-0, it's a big loss, but they're a very good team. And I think 7 out of 12 points is still a fantastic start to the season, especially if we can get some points out of Borough and then beat Hull at home. We could be getting 10, 11 points out of the first 6 games. That's fantastic. So, 7 points out of the first 5 games. That's 2 wins. Out of the first 4 games, sorry, so that's 2 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. We'd have taken that at the start of the season. The important thing is the 2 wins at home, which shows that maybe our home will be a bit more of a fortress this year, which is really positive. So let's touch on Molumby, shall we? I thought when Molumby came on, what a player he looks. Oh, that ball outside his boot, wasn't it? It was like a skimmer. Went straight to Romeo. Romeo didn't have a clue what to do with it, but what a ball that was. And then Romeo passes it inside, and he comes back to Molumby again, and a one-touch pass. I mean, he's got to start on Saturday. If we're going to win against Borough, we're going to have to start 4-4-2. Smith and Bradshaw up front, Molumby and Thompson in the midfield, and obviously Scalex's out now, so Mahoney and Ferguson, but Ferguson on the left, and we will win that game, no doubt about it. They're in a bad run of form, so if we can win that game, that's a really, really positive win. I think it's going to be really important to see how we bounce back. So that's pretty much it from me. The Millwall Middlesbrough game, the predictions will be up tomorrow morning, hopefully tomorrow morning or lunchtime, so that sort of time. If you have liked the video, then give us a like and a subscribe to our channel, get us to 200. That's pretty much it from me. Social media pages will be up after the video, but come on, you lot.